access to real-time information.
We believe in the fundamental principles of free elections.
Network of ECOWAS electoral commissioners received at the presidential villa with advice to ensure that people have the right to elect leaders through credible elections.
As an umpire, our responsibility is to guarantee a level playing field for all actors.
14 resident electoral commissioners confirmed by Senate swear to oath of office and allegiance. Labour and Employment Minister Chris Ngige says committee to negotiate new minimum wage to be constituted before July ends. A very good evening to you. Welcome to the NTA Network News on this 7th day of the 7th month of the year 2017. My name is Phil Obano. Jennifer Igwe is in our NTA Lagos Network studio.
Good evening and a warm welcome to the news.
Acting President Yemi Osinbajo says the only way to have stability in the West African sub-region is to ensure that people have the right to elect their leaders through credible elections. He stated this while receiving the ECOWAS Network of Electoral Commissions, ECONEC, at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. State House correspondent Gideon Ifade has the report.
In the last 2 years, there have been violence-free and successful elections conducted in some countries in West Africa. Chad, Ghana are some of the countries where elections were conducted and results accepted and celebrated. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo describes the idea of coming together of the electoral commissions as wonderful and unique. One of the benefits of ECOWAS, he says, is that it has created opportunities to see the various ways member countries can interact and synergize for the benefit of the people. Emphasizing the relevance of the network, Acting President Yemi Osinbajo observes that the way political battles are fought in this part of the world as one that may even end up in conflict.
We believe in the fundamental principles of free elections, and we believe that the only way to ensure stability in society is to ensure that people have a right to elect their leadership, but not just a right on paper, but a right in practice. And the only way by which that right can be manifested in practice is by free and fair elections.
Now that we are all democracies, we should come together and see how we can assist ensure free, fair, credible elections within the sub-region.
The purpose of ECOWAS Network Electoral Commissions, as explained by the President Mahmoud Yakub, is to assist one another in the areas of experience sharing, peer review, and other areas relevant towards having credible elections. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Senate President Bukola Saraki has urged heads of election management bodies in the ECOWAS region to always conduct credible elections that will deepen democracy and good governance in West Africa. Senator Saraki stated this when he received members of electoral bodies at the National Assembly. Waziri Zeyanu has details.
The Senate President urged ECONEC as bodies to collectively work for an electoral process that will justify the existence of democracy in all ECOWAS countries.
We should have an electoral process that meets the best in any part of the world. an electoral process that we can even say we can export to other continents.
Leader of the visiting team, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, also stressed the importance of credible election to the entrenchment of good governance and the commitments of ECONEC to realize the objective of its establishment.
For the first time in the history of the sub-region, all 15 member countries of ECOWAS are democracies.
In the meantime, Education Minister Adamu has briefed Senate committees on education and health on the recent health mishap recorded at Queen's College, Lagos. He said future occurrence can be curtailed in other institutions with increased budgetary funding to the education sector in general.
Things deteriorated to the extent that this happened in Queen's College, Lagos, and the situation has not improved. So I hope this hearing will make the National Assembly consider education and our need for funds.
Chairman Senate Committee on Basic and Secondary Education, Senator Aliu Makataka Dawamako, said ministers of education and health were invited to formally present first-hand report of the tragic event at Queen's College, Lagos, with a view to prevent reoccurrence.
This event happened in February this year. Up to now, 5 years later, no action has been taken about anybody, not even inquiry. Something must be wrong somewhere or Mr.
It will be recalled that 3 students of Queen's College, Lagos died as a result of an epidemic in the school recently. From the National Assembly, Wazir Zayan, NTA News.
Meanwhile, resident electoral commissioners confirmed by Senate this Friday took the oath of allegiance and oath of office. Ifeanyi Okafor reports that the swearing-in was at the INEC headquarters, Abuja.
This signals the beginning of the management of electoral process in their states. INEC chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu says the event marks another important milestone in the consolidation of credible elections in Nigeria. He urged them to show commitment to their duties by demonstrating transparency, impartiality, courage and balanced interaction with all stakeholders.
As an umpire, our responsibility is to guarantee a level playing field for all actors, inclusiveness for all citizens, irrespective of gender or disability.
Of the 14 resident electoral commissioners, 2 are reappointed for a second and final term, while 12 are fresh appointments. From the INEC headquarters, Abuja, Ifeanyi Okafor, NTA News.
And away from the National Assembly, the All Progressives Congress, APC, says the act of impunity, corruption and insensitivity in governance and the polity will not be allowed under its watch, as it remains committed to rebuilding the nation. The national chairman of the party, Chief John Odigioyegu, stated this when he received the former governor of Ebonyi State, Chief Martin Elichi, who defected to the APC. Political correspondent Abdullahi Garba Bernikodu reports.
The former Ebonyi State Governor Martins Elechi, who led a large team of 30 persons to formally defect to APC, says he joined the party for his democratic principles.
We are turning to the APC to ask the leaders of APC nationwide to please restore democracy in Ebonyi State.
The APC National Chairman Chief John Oyegun says the party welcomes men of wisdom like Elechi in his drive to rebuilding Nigeria.
We have the boldness to investigate. We have the boldness to query people who have been in government and not, because we are hoping too that even if they are of the same party, that they too, when we move away from office, they will look at our record. Unless we start doing that, we will never come out of this vicious cycle of everybody protecting everybody's back. And so corruption becomes an institution in its own.
Party leaders at the national and Ebonyi State agreed for compromise and commitment in the APC.
If people do not adopt compromise, you will continue fighting until the next election. I'm pleading. Let's learn from the ICI and a compromise.
In another development, the national chairman has received another personality from the southeast, Mr. Mark Wabara, who defected to the APC. He was led to the party's national secretariat by former Governor Uzo Kalu of Abia State. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Bernonkudu, NTA News.
A political group known as Democratic Youth Congress says President Muhammadu Buhari's administration has ensured peace and stability in the country. Briefing newsmen in Abuja, national chairman of the group, Mohammed Kazim, wants Nigerians to continue to support the administration to fulfill its mandate to the people. Shoaibu Yakubu reports.
National Chairman of Democratic Youth Congress, Qasim Muhammad Qasim, says the present administration's fight against insurgency and corruption is commendable, adding that the Empower program recently introduced has successfully engaged many unemployed youths across the country.
President Buhari's doggedness has brought an end to the mindless and brutal killing of our brothers and sisters in the northeast by Boko Haram. It is on record that President Buhari's administration marks the turning point in the history of rousing corruption and mindless looting in the public funds, which plunged the country into recession. It is also on record that the Empower initiative of President Buhari has served to empower and provide succor to the Nigerian youth.
He frowned against hate speeches that could truncate the nascent democracy and called on Nigerians to continue to pray for the quick recovery and safe return of President Muhammadu Buhari. The Democratic Youth Congress for Buhari 2019 says it will commence a nationwide sensitization and achievement evaluation of the APC-led administration. In Abuja, Shoaibu Yakubu, NTA News.
And back to more stories from the National Assembly. The federal government has so far expended $414 million on the Zungeru Hydro Dam project, which started in 2013. The Permanent Secretary, Louis Edozian, said this when he and other contractors appeared before the Senate Committee on Power in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Rabi Musa completes the story.
The Zungeru Hydro Dam project, located in Niger State, estimated to cost $1,293 million when completed within 60 months. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Power, Louis Edozian, said the federal government has already paid its counterpart fund and given an advance of $194 million to ensure that the target of the Zungeru project is met, while Mambila Hydro project is only at planning stage.
It's taken a long time, but it is time well spent because one of the reasons no soil has turned on this project.
The Senate Committee on Power, headed by Senator Eyinaya Abaribe, was surprised to learn that the Mambila Dam project is still at planning stage.
Everybody has heard of Mambila, and there had been the assumption that something had been done.
Our concern is with respect to the issue of resettlement.
The meeting also observed.
We apologize for that, H. The National Assembly has reiterated commitment towards ensuring that job losses are curtailed in both public and private enterprises to ensure productivity in all sectors for national development. This was at an interactive session of the House Committee on Telecommunications with Service Providers in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Ezumba has the report.
Chairman of the House Committee on Telecommunication, who said the rate at which service providers lay off their staff is becoming alarming, stressed that they invited them to know how they are faring and to ensure that Nigerians working for them are not affected.
We need to start now and follow them with the processes. We've actually invited NCC now, and what we are doing next is to invite all the stakeholders. But we just want to give the new CEO a little time to study the books and what it meant so he can come and give us a report.
The Executive Commissioner, Nigerian Communications Commission, Sunday Dari, says the Commission is doing everything possible to ensure quality control and adequate monitoring of telecommunication providers to facilitate quality service delivery.
Ensure that investment within the telecom industry grows. The regulations, the guidelines in the telecom industry is such that the operators abide by them. We've also seen the broadband penetration move from 10% to 21%.
The committee also resolved to carry out an intensive oversight to the Commission. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NT News.
The Nigerian Ajib Oil Company Limited's ongoing commitment to creating value for its stakeholders and contribution to sustainable development in countries of operation has been described as laudable. This was made known during a business leadership workshop by the Nigerian Ajib Oil Company Limited held in Owerri.
Vice Chairman Managing Director of Nigerian Ajib Oil Company Limited, Mr. Massimo Isula, reiterated that as part of the company's strategy, it has mapped out 3 capacity development initiatives, which include business leadership, succession planning workshops, and indigenous technology forum. He added that the company is working with the Nigerian Content Development Monitoring Board towards providing electricity to Uguta Oil and Gas Park scheme and trained over 250 youths from the Niger Delta region.
Specifically, we focus on developing and building capacity in the area of small and medium business and community content.
You must have goodwill. You must be fair to people you're dealing with.
Some of the leaders spoke.
Be able to separate your personal life from your business life.
Understanding ways to navigate the cyclical economic terrain, as well as intellectual, financial, and infrastructural support from the government and companies.
The essence is to let Nigerian vendors and those that are aspiring to be in the oil and gas businesses to get to understand the benefits of local content.
I see this as an opportunity for those youths to get empowered.
Some of the role models in business partnership were in attendance.
Success is a journey. It's not a destination. So I'm really just insisted on doing things from a global perspective, but yet respecting our indigenous nature.
The program is an annual event in Owerri. Ngozi Ebuchulam, NTA News.
The Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, has directed the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of the National Health Insurance Scheme, Professor Usman Yusuf, to proceed on 3-month suspension with immediate effect following various petitions and allegations leveled against him. A statement signed by the Director, Media and Publicity, Boade Akinla, says the minister has directed the setting up of an investigation committee to look into the issues in accordance with the public service rules. Professor Usman Yusuf has since been directed to hand over to the most senior general manager in the agency. You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Now, former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, rearranged on a 43-count charge bordering on corruption. This and more stories after the break.
Some reunions are worth waiting for. Reconnect your old SIM and we'll give you 6,000 Naira airtime. Also enjoy 8 times bonus on every e-top-up recharge.
The largest data network, Globe, unlimited.
I can't believe she just rejected me and my camera.
She rejected my lights.
How can she not want makeup?
Maybe when the battery dies, she'll come back to us.
Nah, not with a 4,000 milliampere battery.
Experience the best selfies of your life. Gioni A1 Super Selfie Super Battery.
Notice of public hearing and call for memoranda on judiciary reform bills. The House of Representatives Committee on Constitution Review wishes to invite stakeholders and the general public to a public hearing on bills seeking to further amend the Constitution to reflect proposals initiated by the judiciary. Date Wednesday, 12th July 2017. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Venue Room 028, New Wing, House of Reps, National Assembly, Abuja. Individuals and organizations wishing to submit memoranda should submit 70 hard copies to the clerk of the committee, Mr. Charles Adebayo, on or before Monday, 10th July 2017 at Room 447, House of Reps, New Wing, National Assembly, Abuja, or to charlesadebayo91@gmail.com. For copies of the bills and other information, please visit www.nas.gov.ng or call 0803-314-2062. Sign, Right Honorable Suleiman Lasun Yusuf, Deputy Speaker and Chairman of the Committee. Supported by Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, PLAC, and DFID.
The Future Assured project of the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammad Buhari, is carrying out free medical screening and distribution of food items at various IDP camps, while ensuring the economic empowerment of women through training and skill acquisition. In recognition of her efforts, wives of governors have lent their voices and support.
In Kogi State, we feel the impact of Future Assured, especially in women and children.
The Future Assured program of Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari, the wife of the President, has been very assuring and still reassuring in Sokoto State. It has impacted positively in the areas of humanity, especially women and children.
Supports the Future Assured initiative. Email programs@futureassured.org.ng. Future Assured, promoting and protecting the lives of Nigerian women and children.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant to achieve our creed as we promise. We shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
It's good to know you're still tuned to NTA News. Former Governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, has been rearranged on a 43-count charge bordering on corruption before the Federal High Court in Abuja. He was arraigned along with his two sons. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okewo has this report.
The case has been on for close to 2 years now, with charges that border on money laundering and embezzlement of Jigawa state funds leveled against former Governor Sule Lamido and two of his sons. But the rearrangement comes as a result of the reassigning of the case.
The Chief Judge could transfer a case where the Act of Parliament did not make provision for such a situation. He then went on to take the plea of the defendants.
Alhaji Sule Lamido was, however, granted bail to the tune of 100 million naira, while each of his two sons was granted bail to the tune of 50 million naira. The court also allowed them 2 months within which to perfect their bail conditions. Trial will now commence in September. In Abuja, Femi Okewo, NTA News.
The committee to negotiate the new minimum wage is to be constituted before the end of July. Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngege, made this known to the media in Abuja when they sought reasons for the delay in inauguration of the 29-member committee after the Federal Executive Council adopted the recommendations in May. The minister said the Nigerian Governors Forum was the first to forward names of nominees of 6 governors. However, Labour and the employers group are yet to submit their nominees. The minister also pointed out that the clause in the National Minimum Wage Law.
We'll put and wrap up everything before the end of the month.
The acting president is expected to approve the names of the nominees when submitted. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, has denied the allegation that he is putting undue pressure on Pension Transitional Arrangements Directorate to reinstate remittance to check-off dues to Electricity Sector Retirees Welfare Association, a breakaway faction from the electricity sector of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners. This reaction is coming on the heels of the crisis rocking the retirees in recent times. Emmanuel Aimero has the details.
Caretaker Chairman, Nigeria Union of Pensioners, Electricity Sector, Abel Osai Eko says the Trade Union Act, which governs union, gives directives as to remittances.
The Honorable Minister is undermining the law by giving directives to the various agencies to reverse the irreversible. The law is sacrosanct in this regard. Furthermore, PTAD is not under the Ministry of Labour.
Response to the claim by the NUP electricity sector, Labour Minister Chris Ngige says, although so many complaints have been received concerning Nigeria Union of Pensioners that it is too big to represent all unions, he has no hand in the issue of remittances.
Ministry will never interfere in the affairs of Nigerian Union of Pensioners, electricity sector, or the splinter group. I will only have anything to do with them in terms of assisting them to perform their roles or protecting the interests of their members.
The minister assured the public he will be fair on every issue affecting unionism. In Abuja, Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
Nigeria's nano satellite has begun its journey in space. The satellite was deployed alongside 4 others at the International Space Station. Fisayo Ogunfuyi was at the National Space Research and Development Agency to capture the moment.
After spending about 3 weeks at the International Space Station, Nigeria's nano-satellite, Nigeria EduSat-1, was launched into its appropriate orbital location at about 10:15 a.m. Nigerian time on Friday. Filmed exclusively by the Nigerian Television Authority at the National Space Research and Development Agency, NASDA. There was real-time interaction between the Nigerian Space Agency and the JAXA Tsukuba Space Center in Japan, where the deployment was being monitored.
The technologies of tomorrow are already here, and here we are. Our young engineers have been making good efforts. In 2011, they were part of the design and build SatX, and here we are. We also successfully engaged them in this EduSat-1. We are happy that the university in Nigeria, on their own, went into a collaboration with us, and here we are. This is the benefit. They've successfully designed and built a satellite, which is today successfully launched.
The Nigeria EduSat-1 is a miniature satellite with Earth observation and communication capabilities, and it was designed and built by Nigerian engineers from NASDA and the Federal University of Technology, Akure, FUTA. In Abuja, Fisayo Ogunfuyi, NTA News.
The need for full implementation of the white paper, especially the revenue collection and sharing framework of digital transmission in Nigeria, informed the visit of the House Ad Hoc Committee on Digital Switchover, DSO, to Integrated Television Service Station, ITS, in Jos, Plateau State. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday was there.
The first port of call of members of the committee was the Jos Zonal Network Center of the NTA, where the Executive Director Engineering and the Zonal Director received them.
We want digital switchover to take place quickly.
The Executive Director Engineering enumerated some of the challenges ITS is facing, especially the partial implementation of the white paper.
Like at the third party, which are not in the white paper, we have the feeling that they will cause some bottleneck, what we need to look at carefully so that we can roll out this thing and begin to enjoy the benefits and the dividends of digital television.
About 9 channels, 7 or 9, today 20. So that's a positive development. It means we are making progress.
The committee members and the NTA's management team, despite the rain, took a walk of about 500 meters to the hilltop where the transmitter is located and then to the control room to assess the installed equipment.
The advice of the committee is that the white paper should be followed to the latter. That is, if there are parties in the white paper, parties in this process that are not contemplated in the white paper, they should not be there.
That means signal distributors will be responsible for signal evacuation as well as signal distribution.
ITS, however, urged those who can no longer view the digital signal in JOS to pay the digital access fee, DAF, of 1,500 naira only to reactivate their set-top boxes. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, has inaugurated a housing unit at the 115 Special Operations Group Nigeria Air Force Port Harcourt. This is part of the Nigerian strategic initiative towards upgrading and uplifting the various facilities under its operational units for better welfare of its workforce. Chidebere Onya has the report.
Speaking while inaugurating the 1x30 units block of accommodation at the NAV base in Port Harcourt, Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar said the project would add to the comfort and welfare of air personnel by providing conducive working environments towards greater productivity.
The rooms are well furnished and built to standard in line with this administration's desire to keep the memory of our fallen heroes fresh in our minds. We have taken the decision to name this block after late aircraft woman Abdul Malik H for her gallantry and sacrifice to the nation.
On the issue of insurgency, he noted that it will soon be a thing of the past as the military forces are gradually winning the war. The fight against criminality in the country is one major task that the Nigerian Air Force is leaving nothing to chance until the country is certified free, safe and secure from terrorism and insurgency. From the Air Force Base in Port Harcourt, Chidebere Onya, NTA News.
The FCT administration says it will continue to provide access to basic education for children living in internally displaced persons camps in the nation's capital. FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello stated this when he received the Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons in Abuja. Mitari Ikpe reports.
More than 10,000 internally displaced persons who escaped insurgency in the northeast of the country are scattered across about 30 makeshift camps in the Federal Capital Territory. Notwithstanding the significant victory of the military over insurgency, some of the IDPs have come to regard these camps as home. The FCT minister says their socio-economic needs will be attended to, pending their eventual relocation to their home communities.
We concentrate on giving the young boys and girls basic education that they require, so that by the time they move back to their communities, at least they will not have missed out.
The National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons says it is providing economic and employment opportunities for IDPs nationwide through various intervention programs.
We are committed to keying into the recovery plans envisioned by His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari by upholding to the core humanitarian principles of alleviating the sufferings of our persons of concern while protecting their dignity.
She said the Commission is also ensuring that Nigerian nationals returning from various parts of the world are brought back in dignity and safety and reintegrated into society. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
It's time now for our first stop on the news, and that will be Lagos, with Jennifer standing by. Hello, Jennifer. It's over to you.
Thank you, Phil. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo says the unity of Nigeria remains sacrosanct and secession is not the answer to the many challenges facing the country. Obasanjo said this at a forum in Lagos. Kenny Gbeluge has the report.
Chief Olusegun Obasanjo told the gathering that Nigerians stand to benefit more if they unite as one entity called Nigeria. He described the current agitations for secession, a cry for attention, amelioration, and improvement of socio-economic conditions and solutions, especially by the youths of Nigeria, particularly those from the southeast. Chief Obasanjo, however, suggested that the solution to the current agitations will be achieved by the collective efforts of leaders and elders in the southeast.
I will appeal to Nigerians, from whichever part of Nigeria we are from, and in whatever social situation we are, in whatever religious belief or whatever religious belief we have, whatever political orientation we may have, that the thing that will take us far in this country, take us to where we have to go, in the brotherhood and sisterhood of ourselves as a nation.
He also advised Nigerians, especially the people of the southeast, to apply caution in pressing home their demands. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
Down to business. Take urgent steps to address the various challenges faced by local manufacturers, industry expert Sam Ohabunwa tells government. For details, let's join Amechi Pius on our Business News segment.
Hello and welcome to Business News. As the nation strives to get out of recession, an industrialist, Mazi Sam Ohabunwa, has emphasized the need for government to build on the Industrial Revolution plan. The objective, he said, is for government to come up with strategic and practical solutions to the myriad of problems faced by industries, especially small and medium enterprises. He gave this advice in an interview with NTA Business News in Lagos.
Are we providing greater opportunities for funding them? Are we having an opportunity to help them to assess investments, especially from, bigger and multilateral agencies and other foreign denominated opportunities? Are we giving them opportunity to scale up, to increase their capabilities and their capacities to manage their businesses and to run them well? SMEs contribute 60–70%. Even Nigeria, people say up to 90% of our GDP is from SME, and yet without support.
Mazi Sam Ohabunwa says addressing the challenges of power and other basic infrastructure will bring about the much desired wealth and job creation in the sector. A stockbroker and investment expert has described the Nigerian Stock Exchange as a viable window for investment with strong fundamentals. He told NTA Business News in an interview that the market has evolved over the years and has developed basic technologies required of a modern exchange. He was speaking against the backdrop of recent feud between the legislature and the executive arms of government.
The macroeconomic environment is doing very well. The government is exporting a lot. You are talking of how to improve the economy in terms of we getting out of recession. Of course, all that will have a positive impact in the market. But at the same time, if we have issues in the economy that are not going so well, maybe the feud between the executive and the legislators, of course, that's going to impair government activities, which invariably is going to impact negatively on the market. So the environment in which the market operates has a major influence in the activities of the market.
And to the stock market report, here are details of movement of stocks at the close of business on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange today.
At the close of Friday's equities, volume of shares traded stood at 212.383 million shares, valued at 2.474 billion naira, which swapped hands at 3,217 deals. Market capitalization finished at 11.187 trillion naira, while the Osher index closed at 32,459.17 points.
And that's business news. Thanks for watching. The news continues shortly. Good evening.
Thank you, Amici. You're still watching NTA Network News. We have more reports after this timeout. Stay tuned.
This place in town is right here on your phone.
Welcome to the Glow Cafe. Come on in. It's buzzing in the Zanga. In here, anything is possible. Check out the menu, and here are some of the hot items. Over here, you can buy credit, buy data, share data, borrow voice and data, give data. Give it to him now, be kind. Then there is Glow Music Cafe. More than 2 million Nigerian and Africa Lampa. Glow has teamed up with the world's largest gaming catalog to bring you the Glow Game Cafe. And that's just the start. Check out the Glow Video Cafe. Countless clips, comedy and sports, direct to your device. And when you thought things couldn't get easier, there's personal account management and Glow customer care right at your fingertips.
You can get everything at Glow.
Simply text BUZZ to 105 to download the Glow Cafe app or go to your app store and search for Glow Cafe, the largest data network. Glow, Grandmaster.
The Universal Basic Education Commission hereby announces the 19th quarterly meeting of UBEC management with states and FCT Universal Basic Education Board, which is scheduled to hold as follows. Arrival, Monday 10th July 2017. Meeting days, Tuesday 11th to Wednesday 12th July 2017. Venue, Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba. Time, 10 a.m. prompt daily. Departure, Thursday 13th July 2017. The meeting will be declared open by the Honorable Minister of Education, Malam Adamu Adamu. States and FCT Universal Basic Education Board Chairman are hereby informed and cordially invited. Education for all is the responsibility of all. Dr. Hamid Boboyi, Executive Secretary, UBEC, announcer.
Success. I always wanted to make something of myself. Even when I was a child. With So Clean, my mother made sure that my clothes were clean and bright. With a 30% concentrated formula, washing is faster, brighter, and cleaner. Like millions of families, mine also trust So Clean. With my clothes and with my career. Because when all eyes are on you, you have to look the part. So Clean. It's your time to shine.
So Clean. Now with a new look and stain magnet technology for even better stain removal.
I can't believe she just rejected me and my camera.
She rejected my lights.
How can she not want makeup?
Maybe when the battery dies, she'll come back to us.
Nah, not with a 4,000 milliampere battery.
Experience the best selfies of your life. Gioni A1 Super Selfie Super Battery.
The Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, invites chairmen, commissioners, secretaries, directorate staff of State House of Assemblies, clerks and deputy clerks of State House of Assemblies to its 3-day national workshop on enhancing administrative capacity towards effective performance. Date, 7 to 9th August 2017. Venue, Askan Complex, Topo Badagry. Workshop fee, 70,000 naira per delegate, excluding feeding and accommodation. Payment mode, name of account, Axcon e-collection account. Account number 02-300-55-86-1019. Payable at any commercial bank. For inquiries, please contact Barrister Kolawole Alagbe, Workshop Director, on 0033307408 or 0088354622. Announcer, Director General.
It's so good to know you are still tuned to NTA News. More news now from this end. More Bakassi indigenes resident in Cameroon have been displaced, with some losing their lives following an ultimatum issued by the Cameroonian authorities. Some of them found their way back to Cross River State lamented the ill treatment meted to them. Umo Basi Edet has the story.
When in 2002 the Green Tree Agreement was signed between the Nigerian and the Cameroonian government to cede the Bakassi Peninsula to the Cameroons, Nigerians residents there had the option of remaining there or returning home. Those who, however, selected to remain in Cameroon have bitter stories to tell, ranging from the imposition of discriminatory taxes of about 150,000 naira each to a series of alleged harassment which recently resulted in a face-off with the Cameroonian gendarmes, leaving some Bakassi indigenes dead. For them, this signals the clear breach of the accord reached over 10 years ago and has rendered several men, women and children homeless.
We tried to negotiate the amount. They refused not to agree with us.
We are suffering for so many years.
South Zonal Coordinator of National Refugees Commission, Mr. Andy Ekpan, and the Director General of the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, Mr. John Inaku, were at hand to receive the returnees.
Our work is to make sure that the people, the returnees from Cameroon, are being resettled, rehabilitated, and reintegrated into the society.
Our worries now is that why would some die?
Umo Basedate, NTA News.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has received with dismay reports of the maltreatment and killings of Nigerians in the Bakassi Peninsula by Cameroonian gendarmes in respect of the alleged non-payment of taxes on fishing activities. A statement by Acting Director and Spokesperson, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Jane Adams, states that the ministry has instructed the Nigerian mission in Yaoundé to investigate the report with a view to confirming the veracity and inform headquarters immediately. Meanwhile, the ministry has summoned the High Commissioners of Cameroon to Nigeria to demand explanations as to what may have happened. The ministry appealed to the Cameroonian authorities to exercise the duty of care and protection over the people of Bakassi, including Nigerian citizens in the area. The wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has restated her commitment towards ensuring that the living standard of women and children across the African continent is improved. She made the commitment while hosting African First Ladies at the Nigerian House in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
In furtherance of her commitment in ensuring that the cordial relationship amongst the African First Ladies is sustained, the wife of the president hosted the First Ladies at the Nigerian House in Addis, where they interacted mutually and brainstormed on the possible ways to enhance their relationship for the benefit of women and children of their respective states. Those in attendance comprises the First Ladies of Ethiopia, Romantes Fire, Sia Kroma of Sierra Leone, as well as the First Ladies of Gambia and Guinea-Bissau, among others. Mrs. Buhari has extended hands of fellowship to strengthen the existing relationship, especially her effort of improving nutrition amongst the children of the Lake Chad Basin countries introduced through her Future Assured program.
Future Assured also provided a platform for exchange of ideas and policy dialogue on issues relating to malnutrition as well. So already we are on course. We are well aligned to what is happening at national and continental level.
The wife of the president also met with the spouses of the officers and staff of the Nigerian embassy in Addis Ababa.
It's an honor, it's a privilege, you know, and for the fact that she hosted other first ladies here, I think it's something that is unprecedented.
She assured them her full support of whatever kind of program they are engaging in serving humanity. From the Nigerian House in Addis Ababa, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Entrenching peace, unity and religious tolerance, a panacea for national development. This was contained in a sermon at the Ansaruddin Jumat Mosque, Abuja. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports.
The world is craving for peace and unity, eroded by mutual suspicion among leaders of the world. Political and religious crisis, as well as supremacy of powers of one country over another, has not only created hatred and underdevelopment, but also given rise to killings of innocent people across the world. Nigeria has its share of the global crisis, where lack of peace, unity, and hate speeches have contributed to backwardness of the country rather than being an indivisible entity for growth and development. The Chief Imam's sermon was in tune with happenings around the globe, where he appealed for peace and unity among Nigerians for rapid development. Imam Musa Olaofe enjoined Muslims to rededicate their lives in the worship of Allah and tolerate adherents of other religions and cultural values.
Nigeria as a country, all what we need now is peace and to live together as one family. And that is why Almighty Allah is cautioning all of us in the Holy Quran that we should avoid crisis.
Some worshippers spoke on the central message of the sermon.
There is need for us in this nation to unite with each other. The Imam is letting us understand that irrespective of whatever language you speak, wherever you come from, there is need for us to unite so that we can move forward.
Without peace and unity, where do we go in terms of development, in terms of social coexistence? You know, the khutbah of today is what everybody is supposed to be preaching.
The Imam later led the congregation to the 2 rakat prayers. In Abuja, Ilyasu Aliaku, NTA News.
The key to achieving a corruption-free society is in the citizens living within the confines of laws governing society. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoge, made this assertion at a reception and state banquet held in his honor in Calabar by the government and people of Cross River State. Justina Etin has the report.
Chief Justice of Nigeria charged all Nigerians to be law-abiding, stressing that lawlessness and corruption can no longer be tolerated in the country. He appreciated the government and people of Cross River State for the honor done him and pledged to continue to uphold the independence of the judiciary.
Each and every one of us to try to live within the confines of the law.
The Cross River State Governor, Ben Ayade, described Justice Onogen as a man of integrity and deep intellect whose expertise will be brought to bear in fostering the much-needed reforms in the Nigerian judiciary system. Other dignitaries at the event also eulogized the sterling attributes of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, noting that his tenure will revive the confidence of the people on the Nigerian judiciary. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
Sports and weather report will come up after this break.
Reorganized, trained, and fully equipped, we are the new improved Nigeria Police Force. We fight crime. We bust syndicates. Whatever the crime, wherever the hideout, the Nigeria Police Force will get you busted. Stop kidnapping, armed robbery, murder, pipeline vandalism, and other criminal activities. Be productive. Be security conscious. Join the police force to secure your life and property. This message is from the Nigeria Police Force Public Relations Department.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC as an agency is indeed doing so much to protect the health of our nation. I urge everyone to support NAFDAC in ridding the country of fake drugs and unwholesome products.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
And here now is the last tranche of the news tonight. Club owners have been advised to devise ways of making their clubs viable business entities rather than allowing clubs to remain a drain pipe, especially for government-owned club sites. This was the submission of parliamentarians on NTA's sports talk show program, Sports Parliament. Adeola Mokivi reports that the chairman of Club Owners Association, Damladi Isaac, was guest on the program.
It has become more or less the norm to hear management of club sites complain about inadequate funding. On this issue, the parliamentarians of NTA Sports Parliament moved the motion that club owners should begin to adopt successful models on how to run club sites. These models, the parliamentarians say, have been known to be operational in most footballing nations over the years.
TP Mazembe,
yes,
arguably the greatest club in Africa. That club, as we speak, owns about 2 aircrafts, for their own purposes. They have been run like a business.
This is what the LMC has been drumming, in our ears, that we should try as much as possible to have community participation, to have private sector participation in the running of clubs and so on and so forth. And I believe that work is in progress.
The members posited that owning and running clubs in the country without